I get another shack update. So we got junk over here. I have taken some stuff out of the corner over here, and I got this fancy restaurant tabletop in here. It's real heavy, so it should be pretty good to put a printer on top of because it's got a lot of weight. And then I was able to put my drill press and stuff like that down there. I've got a sheet of OSB that was cut from something else underneath here. So it clears over here. It would be cool if it was the exact same height as the other, but it does actually happen to be like arm bar type height. So then I was thinking either this welder or that welder will come back over here, because what I did was I took that frame out of here and I just positioned this piece here with wood, so I have that room right here, and I could put it next to the Miller Econo Twin TIG welder. So, yeah. And then I got, some stuff sitting in the corner here, but like I gotta clean up my sawdust. I had to do some cutting. And I sold Rick the Astron 35, what do they call it? BSM or whatever. Anyway, so now I've got a Astron BS12M, and I noticed I can read it a little bit more accurately. So when the diesel heater is on, it pulls about 7 amps, which is only for a short time while the glow plug's on. But I had that other one, and Rick needed a power supply because his MFJ was wiping out his radio with spurs and all sorts of hash and trash, so I sold him that. Now got this one hooked up, which is perfectly fine for this. This is, Astron makes really good power supplies, but this is really, I don't know. I think it's more of like you'd use it for like CB radio or something. This is 12 amps with Astron. Their ratings are kind of weird. But let me see. This one here particularly is missing the legs. It says it is 12 amps at 50% duty cycle, 5 amps continuous at 10 volts, 2 amps continuous at 5 volts. Interesting. 9 amps continuous at 13.8. So you could sit here with this thing, and this is basically a 9 amp power supply, or they call it a 12. So, and it'll probably momentarily, pull, 15 if you try to. But it's good enough for a diesel heater. I don't think you need anything too big for these. Although the glow plug does pull quite a bit of current. So, they're not going to get a Linksys router 12 volt power supply to run this. I don't think. But so we get to figure out where to put back over here, and get the other printer set up over here. Get some of this other stuff moved around. It's a nightmare. So I need to deal with this computer, and I want this computer only running during the daytime on solar power because of how much this computer draws. I got some printing crap in here. So, I believe this thing is pulling up to almost 800 watts when, it's really under load, which makes sense because it's got an 800 watt power supply in it. So you don't think about that, but this this computer would cost you probably $100 a year if you left it on all the time. And that doesn't sound like a lot, but it does contribute. And so if you have 5 more things that fit that category, well, now you've just spent $500 extra that you don't need to. So if I don't need this to be on all the time, which I don't, because normally I would just use a laptop, like I would use this if I was doing like, video editing or something, because it's, I don't remember how many gigs of RAM. I had problems with it, but it's got a quad core. Or no. A dual core, but it's an Intel. So it seems to outperform quad core AMDs. Anyway, It's just an old computer. It was like top of the line gigabyte board back in 2009 or 2010. For you nerds out there, it is a GAEP. What the hell? A GAEP45T UD3P, and I've got 2 sets of different RAM that do not match, and the speeds do not match. But I have more, and some other ones that do match, but they have different clock speeds and they don't seem to perform as well. So anyway, this is kind of just like my throwback to like when we used to go to Fry's Electronics and buy a motherboard and build a computer. I mean, we're talking DDR1, DDR2 days. So I used to do a lot of that stuff, but I don't anymore. I've always been kind of a hardware kind of person, like put it together, but I don't want to sit here and waste 2 years of my time trying to work with Windows. I've wasted many, many, many hours of my life dealing with Microsoft crap, and you know, in other programs and whatnot. So anyway, I need to get this set up. Let it be, you know, maybe some kind of print server. Maybe I'll put Clipper on it. You know, Octoprint. You know, run them all. Who knows? Or, well, you could just use a Raspberry Pi 4 or 5 or 3 or even probably a 2. And it wouldn't take hardly any power. So I think that's probably the better idea. This is kind of, at this point, obsolete. You could have a Raspberry Pi on every single machine and it would be more efficient. So, anyway, I'm going to get my other printer in here and then see what I can squirrel away in the corner here to get it out of my hair, and see about getting things a little more organized. I recently had to clear out the table here because I was looking for something in here, and I got this thing here, the print bed's on, and I'm drying a filament underneath the filament box, and I made another one in the filament dryer box. I need at least 2 of these. That would be great. This thing's been on. It never dips below 15% humidity or 16. I don't know how accurate this thing is. I would prefer one that didn't have to plug into this, but that's how it is. So I don't think there's a way to really easily retrofit this thing. So we're getting some other stuff. I need to find, I've got some bungee twine or cord or whatever. I'm going to use it on here. It'll be a little bit better than using Dacron. So the solar clicking on and off, on and off, on and off. It's like almost like winter weather again, and so we're just barely getting it above 60 degrees in here, and the heater's been off and on all day. It looks like crap outside. So anyway, that's the shack update for today. We'll catch you guys in the next video, and I might actually put something else over here. I've got the 710 over here. The FT1 is gone. I sold it to Rick, and he's having fun playing with that thing. So we'll catch you guys later.